and ineffective. An Israeli airstrike near a hospital in southern Beirut resulted in the deaths of at least 13 people and left 57 others injured.
The incident occurred just hours before U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken arrived in Tel Aviv for his 11th visit in the year since Israel was attacked.
Federal prosecutors revealed Tuesday criminal charges against a general in Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps for an alleged failed attempt to assassinate a New York-based Iranian journalist.
Ruhollah Bazghandi, who is located in Iran and remains out of the reach of law enforcement, is accused of orchestrating the 2022 plot to kill the journalist.
2 Phoenix police officers were involved in the violent arrest of a deaf black man with cerebral palsy and were placed on paid administrative leave in August as an investigation continues.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
I don't get it, Big Dan.
We got a cup of coffee in here, please.
Damn good coffee and hot.
Oh, we forgot about this.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Well, why did he forget about that then? Get happy. Get happy. Everybody get happy. Happy New Year.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
I'm wearing my Met
Wake
t-shirt.
up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Make me angry. You make me outraged. All right. Get it over with, man. Oh, look. Stephen will be happy today. This cocaine is trending. Stay late on Twitter. Do I dare see what it's all about? Oh. Wait. I'm seeing what it's all about. Bear who ate the cocaine. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Oh, good morning, folks. It's Thursday, which is trash day, in case you're wondering. Thursday, October 24th, 2024. A lot of 24s going on there. Today we are going to, in the second hour, meet an author, not an author, a podcaster. See, I don't care about anything anymore. I'm just mailing it in, folks. Just mailing it in. And I don't even have a stamp. David Beckermeyer, who's got a podcast called Outrage Overload. Damn. The lips, the brain, nothing seems to be working. He claims to have solutions to deal with the outrage overload that we're experiencing. And I think he's just going to try to tell me to be nice and stop calling people's mothers skanks and ripping people's eyes out and all. And I don't want to do that. I want to call more mothers skanks. I want to rip more eyes out. Even if you only have 2 eyes out, I want to rip your third eye out. Ooh. I am wearing my Met shirt. I want to start here. Democrats are desperately trying to imagine something that can get rid of Orange Hitler. And they are so desperate that they're willing to believe that one more video of him groping an underage girl is going to make a difference with his base. How fucking blind and deaf do you have to be to understand that the man, they know about multiple rapes, plenty of rapes. They've accepted he's a raper. They've accepted that he likes young girls. They've accepted that he wants to fuck his own daughter and maybe actually has, and maybe has gotten her an abortion. They've accepted that he raped his ex-wife and beat her senselessly, banging her head into the wall. But one more groping video is going to end his campaign. Are you fucking stupid? The answer is yes. So we're going to start outrage overload there. I'm outraged at the stupidity of the people who think anything, any video you can come up with, any kind of evidence that Donald Trump is a pervert is going to make a difference with the people who are voting for him. They know what he is. Some of them like it. Some of them just don't care. So, I mean, stop with the, October surprise being that. Now, for the conservatives, Republicans, whatever you want to call them, are just as stupid by trying to get out in front of this thing and saying, before the tape is even out there, that it's a deep fake. Watch out for the deep fakes. Deep fakes are everywhere. Now, then that means something real is coming. But, I think, I mean, there's so much. One girl, Stacey Williams, I think her name is. She has come out and alleged that he groped her. He rapes. He's a raper. He grabs him by the pussy and rapes him. They don't care. I'm not sure if the tape is going to be her, to be honest with you. It's coming down to an election. The only thing you can do is really fucking vote. Yeah, so I'm a little bit outrage overload already, right? Am I? Yes, I am. Tim Pool might be having a breakdown. Wait, let me get my Tim Pool hat. I might be having a breakdown because people make fun of me because I can't get a girlfriend. I don't have. I might want to have a baby. I don't know where I said that. It's not about money. It's not about money. It's not about the Russians not paying me the money. It's about lazy motherfuckers that work for me. Tim Pool. Tim Pool might be having a baby. Tim Pool is not having a baby. I'm not having a baby. That's why I'm wearing glasses. Because I usually don't wear glasses. I usually just complain about why I can't get a girlfriend. Because people make fun of me because I can't get a girlfriend. Well, it's because I sacrifice my life for you to bring you outrage podcasting and stupid shit about Trump. That's what I do. So, anyway, you stop making fun of me. We'll see. Now, I'm going to talk about myself in the third person and call me we. But I don't like people who adopt strange pronouns. But we've had a tough time keeping up with all this because they're lazy motherfuckers. So, we are going to do the best to the best of my abilities, have a baby or something. I'll find a girl or something. Maybe I could pay a girl. I don't know. I have a skate park. Maybe I could get a girl who likes skateboards. I don't know. Anyway, what I just want to say is this hat gets fucking hot after a while. But I think Tim Pool might be having a breakdown of some sort. That's all I can say. Anyway, I might as well have a breakdown of my own. I'm going to take a short break and clip up some stuff with my favorite tool. You know what? I think I've pushed Opus clips enough this week. It's time to get high daily. Let's remind ourselves what life is all about.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, and with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer, we're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
I don't hear you, Matt. Now I do. Now I do.
Yeah. All right. Is it just
I
us?
was muted. How could you hear me?
I heard you bang the mic like this.
But
or was that somebody else?
Mike was muted. You heard me bang a muted mic. All right. But you hear me now, right? You hear me telling you it was a muted mic. No?
What's wrong with Mike?
I don't know. What was it? I'll get the party started now. That's what I was saying. Stephen Ortiz is getting the party started. He got the party started a day early. I don't know. I still can't figure out why cocaine is trending.
I mean, shouldn't it always be? I'm just kidding.
No, it shouldn't.
I really don't do coke. I just think it's funny.
No, I know you don't. Not only in the morning, in the afternoon.
Well, yeah, with my coffee.
Most evenings.
Right. In the room with me now is Stephen Cocaine Ortiz, Ron, Citizen Kane, lingerie expert, King Quirky boy, and my ex-best friend of 37 years, Minnie Ripperton. That's who it is. Good morning, Minnie.
Good morning, America.
La, 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 la.
Loving you. Next week is Halloween.
I'm going as Minnie Ripperton. What are you going as?
And My Dog TV has discounted all of their Halloween costumes. The Grumpy Show host, half off. Uncle Fister, half off. The Rolling Comic, half off. The Black Guy, 3/5 off. Almost free at last. MindDogTV.com. Support your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering.
Yeah.
GD, that was the best one yet. Hold on. I just want to give him some due on this genius that he just fucking threw out of his vagina just then. That was genius. 3/5 off, finally free. That was good. I like that. That was
okay.
Thank you.
You made a new fan. Steven might come to one of your shows one time.
I just want to give props to Daily High Club, because and it's only because they don't get you dinged for copyright infringement. Opus, that's how it's done. Okay, you find music that doesn't cause us grief. That every time we play your clip, we get grief. Okay, Opus, get on the ball.
Yeah,
Daily High Club, good on you.
For people who don't understand what GD is referring to, I've been getting copyright issues with every day and trying to figure out. YouTube sends to me the music that they thought I was stealing. I wasn't stealing it, but I couldn't make out where that music is from. We don't use that music in the show. Turns out it's the background music in the Opus commercial. Now, Opus sent me that. So they have the license for it. They bought it somewhere online, but when they send you the commercial, they don't send you the license with it. So Opus set me up for that. Not that, I'm not saying don't use Opus. Still use Opus. Go there and sign up for the free trial, and definitely use our link, which is in the description. But
she's a different commercial.
You gotta be a little more careful in that. You don't just send out and sure, play this. It'll get you copyright strikes every fucking day. I'm outrage overload.
Surprised they did that.
Yeah. You guys ever have you seen the Tim Pool stuff?
No.
No, honestly, I didn't even really know who he was till you made fun of him the other day and got sued.
Wow. Tim Pool, he has several million subscribers. Several million. He's been around for a long time. He's been doing this 10 years, and he's a multi-millionaire off of. And you got to be pretty big to be a multi-millionaire off of this shit.
Yeah, sure.
I think I'm a multi-penny-aire. But that's a whole other. Yeah.
I'm a multi-fresh air.
Okay. He's like he 3 days in a row. 3 days in a row. He's gone on and done a important announcement video that makes absolutely no sense. Like he's quitting, but he's not quitting. He's stepping back because people are making fun of him because he doesn't have a family and a baby. But he's not stopping what he's doing. It's just going to do it to the best of his ability and try to have a girlfriend and a baby. It sounds like he's having a nervous breakdown or some kind of emotional breakdown because somebody is making fun of him for not having a wife and a baby at 30.
He made an announcement video saying he was going to get a girlfriend and have a baby.
Three.
Okay. So
that's three.
So he had to. So what? Do people think he's gay? So he had to announce he's getting a girlfriend. That's a really weird thing to announce. I can understand announcing that we're gonna have a baby. That's big news, but
I don't understand.
I'm getting a girlfriend. Okay, virgin, fucking nerd.
I don't understand. With the ties he has to Russia, can't he just get a discount bride?
No, Russia cut him off. This is and this is the part of it where it gets really. He's saying that. First of all, he's throwing the people that work for him under the bus, saying they're all lazy, and it's just a weird way to do it in public. But he comes out and he says, I want to be clear that this is not about money. It's not about money, but no, I'm running this whole thing, and we have very lazy people, and it's not about money. It's not about money. It's not about money. Well, it turns out the Russian people stopped paying him, and the conjecture is that he expanded his operations, that he needed that Russian money to continue his operation there, and they pulled back the money, and now he's kind of lost without it. But it's so weird. Like, he's referring to himself as we over and over again. Now, keep in mind that he has a problem with people using pronouns like they, he, she, they, whatever, but referring to himself as we. But he was like on the verge of tears. He's on there. He's wearing makeup, eyeliner, for some reason, with his dopey little fucking ski hat.
So you don't get to see his tears.
Well, no. If he starts crying, the eyeliner is going to run.
He did it for effect.
That's old eyeliner. The new eyeliner doesn't run. Don't you watch the commercials?
No,
that's not
true.
New
eyeliner doesn't run, and the lipstick doesn't smudge. You can kiss and suck all you want. The lipstick doesn't leave a trace.
Wow,
it's not true because when I painted my face black the other day, it ran so bad.
Maybe it pays to actually have a television and watch commercials and stuff, and I would be hip to this stuff. But I want to see if I could find one of these videos and just show you how stupid and weird.
I just want to see the groping one. There's a video of Trump groping someone. I heard you talk about it, and I saw there's an influx of women on.
It hasn't been leaked yet. They just keep telling. Hey, let me backtrack. About 4 days ago, some dude, the guy who first announced that Biden was going to drop out and nobody believed him, said he's been approached from people who have been saying they have information that will end Trump forever. And people were like, if you got information, spill it, dude. Don't fucking
there's nothing. I can't imagine any information that will end Trump forever, ever, unless they're saying terminal cancer, he's dying tomorrow. That would end him. That would end him forever, and then just the movement would continue.
Well, here's what I think I sent you guys what I thought would end him. If he, I left out a few details. If he was dressed in a Hitler outfit with the foxtail up his ass, and discussing the ways he was going to stage his assassination attempt, and they had that on tape. I think some people he might lose a vote or two.
No,
I don't think dressing up like Hitler. I don't think dressing up like Hitler and with the foxtail in his ass would work because half of the Republican congressmen would show up at a rally dressed just like him to support him.
Not just that, but the good majority of the conservative side are furries, and because of the tail, he would go from being gross to being part of the LGBT.
One of us.
Yeah, one of us, exactly. So he'll get the supporting of all of them. So I don't know if it would end him, man.
Yeah, no, he could shoot like he said, he could shoot somebody on whatever, Fifth Avenue, Main Street, whatever the fuck he said.
I think he said he could shoot a load in a minor on Fifth Avenue and nobody would say anything.
Right. So that guy had come out and said he had information. People were pitching information at him that would end Trump. People were speculating about what it was, and then all the right wingers started coming out and saying, "When you see the tape, notice deep fake," and all that stuff. Well, we haven't seen the tape. You're getting out in front of it and saying it's a deep fake. You must have seen it. That must mean something damaging is coming. But then this girl, Stacy, I think her last name is Williams. She was underage and she has been making these claims for a long time on her social media pages that she met Donald Trump. She was like FAO Schwartz or something like when she was a kid, dressed up in one of these costumes, and he was like grabbing her titties and stuff.
Jesus Christ!
And so she came out and said that. And now they're speculating that this tape that with her on it, she's now a grown woman. So it's that like nobody's gonna fucking care that he groped one more. They know. It's like saying, Ted Bundy, sneezed once. Let's get mad at him. I mean, we know what Ted Bundy.
I think if the video came out, there'd be like 3 Republicans who would not realize that the video was old and think it's just happened, and then they go like, "Oh shit, he's still doing it," and then those 3 people
still doing it.
Yeah, those 3 people might switch. They're probably not. They wouldn't switch to vote to Kamala Harris. They would just either stay home or they would like do a write-in vote for Elon Musk.
That is some nightmare fuel. Picturing Donald like you're like in a Macy's and you're shopping and like every time you turn around, Trump's just like peeking up over a shelf of clothes. Like it's so creepy.
The only thing creepier would be if I was shopping and I saw Trump creeping around and he knew my name. That would be creepy. It's like there's no reason
that he would just disappear.
Yeah. There would be no reason for him to know who I am. I mean, it's like because I'm not in his circles. The people who like him, 99% of them don't like me. So there's no reason for him to know.
He's not really in any. He's not in many circles, but he's in a lot of glory holes.
Okay, yes.
So now, but the thing that baffles me is that all these Democrats are jumping on this like we finally got him. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? How many times are you gonna Lucy? Charlie Brown's Lucy. You're Charlie Brown. Lucy is holding the football here. Lucy.
Now, see, my understanding is that maybe they're just trying to jump on everything all at once, like the movie. Because right now the big thing is the was it Milley, Admiral Milley, or
you got to shut the fuck up. You're talking over everybody, right? I'm sorry.
Retired General Milley is they just released the audio of when he said that Trump is a fascist. The article's been out for over a year, but they just released the audio of him saying it.
Wait, they have? Because I haven't heard. I've heard they're still arguing over whether he really said it or not. I thought they were asking Kelly to come out and make a full statement.
No, not Kelly. Milley. I think it's Milley now.
Oh,
Kelly is Kelly's the one that was in the book. Milley is the one that was being interviewed by I think Michael Schmidt, and the interview came out like last year sometime. But they just released the audio because Kelly
audio of Milley saying it, but they don't have Trump saying that because
they have like 6 witnesses that Trump said it, including a woman who in the very beginning denied it. One of his aides denied it.
When you say said it, you're talking about the losers stuff, or that
losers stuff.
How much does it cost to bury a fucking Mexican?
That one too, yeah.
I'm surprised that Trump didn't fucking end with him and Billy Bush in the bus. That would have ended 99% of politicians right there.
But the thing is, part of that is thank you, Comey, and part of it is the fact that there's still a huge contingent of people who just would not vote for a woman, and also Hillary Clinton had 20 years of baggage to overcome, or 30 years of baggage to overcome.
And that's true. Did you guys just hear like a buzzing?
And she's easier to hate. That's why Clinton was easier to hate.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But I think you're wrong about the Trump support. I was with Trump supporters at the moment that story was released, and I was with a Trump supporter who had just gotten into a fight with a guy for saying something slightly inappropriate to one of his daughters, and the guy went and fought to protect the honor of his daughter. And I said, and then that news broke. I said, Trump is basically saying here it's okay for him to grab women by the pussy. What if he did that to your daughter? He goes, nah, it's no big deal. I mean, and so that had nothing to do with Clinton at all. They just loved Trump so much, and they were so up his ass that nothing he could do would be wrong. This is a guy.
The Republican, what's it called? The elite, the power brokers, so to speak. They were in a free fall. They were freaking out, and so was the Trump campaign. They were freaking out, so they thought it was going to be a big deal, and that's part of the whole reason why they threw that money behind Stormy Daniels. They thought it was going to be a big deal. Now, the fact that it didn't turn out to be one is a fluke.
It's not a fluke. I think that because I was with like 5 Trumpers at that time, and they all at the moment.
Will you stop bragging about how rich your friends are? No,
they're not rich at all, but they are bigoted. All of them, racist white dudes. But they basically they poo-pooed it at the moment, like it's no fucking big deal. That's not. It had no influence on their thinking about Trump.
Poo-poo?
Yeah, I still think
that's what I thought, and I giggled, but I wanted to be. Sorry, Ron. Go ahead. My bad, sir. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I still think she's going to pull out the win. And like what you're saying with the October surprise and stuff, yeah, like that stuff doesn't matter because news moves so fast now, so you can easily brush a story to the side. But I think all this stuff comes out because they're hoping. The hope is that you put all this shit out there, and I think when people go to vote, they're like, do I want this fucking crazy guy, or do I at least want some stability in my life? And I think that's what they're hoping. Because I think once you get past the hardcore people, then you start to get wobbly some. Because like any cult, there's always people that leave the cult, or they'll lie to the cult. That way they'll just get them off their back.
I wish I have met one of these people you're saying who's not a hardcore. Because if they're on the Trump side, they're all hardcore. I have not met one person who is a Trumper who is not hardcore in the cult completely. I mean, they are more dedicated than any cult I've ever seen.
I can introduce you to one person who was full on the Trump train who is no longer on there. I could introduce you to one person that I know for sure.
Good for them. Good for them for waking up. But
it was my brother, the guy who rescued me from the gay bar. He was a huge Trump guy, but after seeing what happened to the economy as he ended his run, and as he saw what Biden inherited and what we might be going back into, he's woken up to the fact that shit didn't get better with Trump. And it's going to get worse with Trump. And then on top of it, now he has daughters. And now that he has daughters, everything that Trump said before has made his skin crawl. So he's
gay people for Trump are as bad as black people for Trump.
I 100% agree. That was the first thing I said to him. I was like, bro, but you like pee-pees. And he's like, yeah. I was like, Trump don't like guys that like pee-pees. And he goes, I know, but things were so much better. He was super delusional about it. He was. And like I said, it was having daughters and kind of opening up his eyes to how shit has gotten since Trump left office. And yeah.
So basically, Ron and GD both, if I can surmise here, they both kind of said the same thing. That the strategy is by putting all this stuff out there on election or close to election day, that you get some people who are wobbly, who are in the booth and just decide.
I think so. I think if something big enough comes out, that it's because it's going to have to be big. But if it's big enough and it comes out at the right time, it's going to be big enough to knock those wobbly people off.
It has to be him in a Hitler outfit with a foxtail up his ass, discussing how we were going to stage the assassination.
I think the thing is, one big thing. That's how fascism works. Fascism works. You tell the big lie, and they ignore it. See, so it can't be just one big thing. It has to be like a drip, drip, drip. Faucet, flood. That's what it has to be. It has to be like inundated. It has to be like, what is it with this man now? Fuck, what is it now? Because if you have
I almost feel like it's gonna be Probably, I feel like because we're seeing what's happening with like Diddy, we're seeing what's happening with with the big names that are getting caught with pedophilia and sex trafficking. It might be something along those lines, but like when I say something along those lines, I mean like a video of him comes out of him in the act, or a photo comes out with him, with like a half dressed 8-year-old on his lap or something gross. Like it's gonna be something super fucked up, but it's gonna be big because it's gonna or like you said, it could be the trickle thing too, but I feel like it's gonna be just like a couple big things.
Here's a
Personally,
talking point the Republicans are coming out with.
What might do it is, how Trump goes all these little rallies and he's always shaking hands. That when he shakes a hand with a man, he has an erection, and you see it. Okay, I think that would do it. and that can easily be AI, because you're not doing. The only thing you're doing is you're adding a little bump in the front, and every time he shakes a hand with a man, he has like a Woody. That's it. I think that might do it. So AI, get on it. Give Trump a Woody. I know that he actually can, and then he has to come out and say, he either has to say, well, yes, that's my erection, or he has to say, no, my dick doesn't work. So give him a
it's
nice
not an erection.
Right.
I was just horny for the rally.
Give him the kind of erection that will make him proud enough to want to brag about it. But it only is when he's shaking hands with men. That way he has to say, that's not really my dick. It's not that big. Or he has to say, my dick doesn't work. I can't be mine. I can't get an erection.
According to Stormy, you wouldn't notice if he had an erection.
That's what I'm saying. AI. Because that's what I'm saying. It's got to be AI. Because he's denied it. He's always said there's nothing wrong with his look at my hands. There's nothing wrong with my penis. I guarantee you, I have a good sized penis. He said that back in 2015 when he was running against Little Marco. So
he also said that when he was in WWE, as him and Vince McMahon were talking about the size of their penises.
He also said he was smart. He also, I mean, like, come on.
Hey, Donnie, I heard you were talking about Arnold Palmer's big club. I guess the Scranton stickers be keeping you up at night. And I don't drill. I decimate the landscape.
If his mouth looked a little better, that video would be fucking perfect. That was great. For those of you not watching and just listening, Joe Biden stopped in. He was actually just looking for the bathroom. He was a little lost, but he stopped in and said something before he, got on his way. So thanks, Joe. Back to you, Matt.
But back to what you do saying, they came out preemptive where it's going to be a deep fake, it's going to be AI, and a lot of them, like not just one or two, the entire Republican pundit
sphere, yeah.
They realize that's easy to prove.
What?
They realize it's easy to prove if it's AI or not, right?
Yeah, we don't even use
They haven't
AI.
seen it. That they're just trying to create a doubt in people's mind beforehand.
Between the preemptive strike and then like literally all you need to do is look at the metadata of the video. You'll know if it's
all they want to know. The strategy would be to keep enough doubt until November 6th. That's all that But as they're worried about it, but they shouldn't be worried about it because again, everybody knows he's a fucking pervert rapist. They voted for him twice, knowing he was a pervert rapist. One more time is not going to change it. But here's this is their talking point now, and I'm not kidding about this. The woman, Stacey Williams, I think her last name is Williams. I could be just fucking off. I know it's Stacey. She's a brunette, and their talking point is this: say what you will about Trump, but he has a type, blonde. The lady who waited until now does not fit the Trump's type. In other words, he only rapes blondes. But he's married to a woman who's not a blonde. He was married to another woman who was not a blonde. So just to say that is just ridiculous. But even to put out that, well, I only rape blondes.
It is Stacey Williams, just so you know. So you can rest. You can stop saying. I think you can stop saying that part.
I think it's Stacey Williams.
Yeah, you can stop saying that.
The reason I thought she might be a tennis player, isn't there like a Serena Williams and a sister?
Serena Williams and a Venus Williams and a Billie D. Williams. They were all female tennis players.
All right.
And early voting has her leading 2-1.
Who does?
early voting that's coming in is she's leading him 2-1.
All of it,
Yeah, but
like,
that's
or like
national.
just in one
That's
state.
national, and the
That's
problem is
nationally.
it's got to be. You got to break it down to, especially with there's two. I understand that, but there's two things with that. It's not like fundraising. Fundraising, you can give like $50 and then get $50 again later.
Fitty.
Once you vote, you can't vote twice. So, so those. I mean, it's good to have them banked, but unless it's in like if it was like 2-1 in Pennsylvania or 2-1 in Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, I'd be like ecstatic. But 2-1 nationwide, I'm like, okay, that's kind of like
it's too
expected.
early for that, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good indicator. So that's a good place to
Yeah, I
start.
mean,
it's better than being on the opposite end of that.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's not as much of an uphill battle now as far as it was to begin with. So that's
And
that's
plus that
going by
helps,
party, and that's
that
going by
helps
party.
energize people too, because people that are just like, I'm just going to vote for whoever. It's kind of like when a team gets into the Super Bowl. With some people, they'll be like, "Well, she's leading. I might as well just do that." So,
Well, yeah, that's true. That's the other thing. That's one reason why Trump likes to pretend that he's a winner, so that people say he's a winner. I'll back the winner. Yeah, so I agree with that. Now the only thing is that's also not actual votes. That's party affiliation, and so they don't really know how people voted, and also they don't know what to do with independents.
I thought that was mostly from exit polls, like, but because people going for with early voting, then most of them are mail-in, but some of them were actually going to polls to do early voting, right? I don't know how they. I wouldn't go for early vote. I'm waiting to November 5th. I don't know, unless you're like you have some transportation issues or disability.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of transportation issues, go over to at the sitcom on X right now, and you can find my GoFundMe for my new handicap van. And if we reach the goal by election time, I will take said van and I will pick you guys. I will pick up anybody who needs to get to your polling place so we can get the orange guy.
I have a question. GoFundMe is in the bottom there, and it's also if you don't know, if you're on the radio, it's GoFund.me/5BDBF6F7. Write that down. I'll say it one more time.
I understand. Why don't you put it on Facebook?
What happened was.
That. Wait. Stephen, for the people in our audience who might not know, Stephen is playing victim because he got tossed off of Facebook. But he wasn't innocent. Facebook doesn't just look for innocent people. He broke some fucking rules. Somebody might have ratted him out. But at the end of the day, Stephen is responsible for his own getting booted.
It is
what
likely,
did you do?
but
What did you do? What did you do?
So I was not given a full explanation. The email said my account needed attention. Went over to the app, and all it said was that there was some sort of issue with what's the word it used?
You know what you did.
It said the legitimacy of my account. So what it had me do is it had me do a selfie thing where I had to like look up, down, left, right, and verify that it's me that owns the account. I think what may have happened was somebody may have been trying to make a fake account to take advantage of the GoFundMe situation, and Facebook caught it. Is what I think happened, because they made me verify my identity. So fairly confident that's what happened.
The accusers have a long record of talking about cocaine on public radio.
Listen. We don't do the devil's gander on
permission to treat him as a hostile witness.
Permission granted.
What did you do?
I don't know. You're a hater.
I am a hater. I hate you.
But no, I've appealed it. I should find out today. But in the meantime,
another part of the fishiness about this whole thing is you said they banned you for 189 days. That seems like a weird fucking number. Like it's either 365 or half of that, or 189.
No, 180. It was 180.
You wrote 189.
I may have. I was so angry I'm so mad. I was like, what the fuck, man?
It's still not like half a year. It's almost half a year. It's like a little bit short of half. Like,
yeah, just short of
no.
No. I have 180 days to appeal. If my appeal fails, I lose my account completely. So I have to. So here's what's really here's the biggest kicker, right? Is anybody that's booked me that I have performed with, I have their phone number, but a lot of those connections I have are on Facebook. So if I lose that account, that's 1,800 Facebook friends and followers gone that I have to try to find again. So it's a nightmare. Love it.
Well, you're people like you. You'll get them back. It's not like me. I didn't get mine back.
Nobody likes you.
I'm more concerned with everyone that I've connected with in the comedy side of things, like the bookers that I've been talking to on Facebook or who are maybe following me to, keep an eye for when they want to send, there's a lot of shit on there that I'd like to get back at least, like my friends list, photos and videos that are on there.
Well, as far as appealing, well, first of all, you're not appealing, and second of all, you don't have a leg to stand on. So
that hurt.
Yeah, but
unappealing. You quite unappealing.
I think your text said that you were suspended or banned from Facebook for 189 days. Not that you had 180 days to appeal it. I understand.
Dude, I was fury typing.
That you were stressed, but please, when you're stressed and you're trying to get empathy or sympathy from us, which is going to be hard to do, you need to stick to the facts, because otherwise, what's going to happen is we're going to find out you exaggerated and be like, really, the boy who cried wolf.
I didn't exaggerate. It's worse than what I said. What the fuck word is that I need for that?
Yeah.
Underwear.
The opposite of over exaggerated.
Understated.
Yeah, I understated the seriousness of it. It's not just a ban for 180 days. I could lose it completely.
Yeah, it sounds like you're explaining it that you've lost it completely. I mean, it sounds like you've lost it completely. We're trying to help you get it back, but I don't know.
Like if you go on Facebook right now, I don't exist.
Right, you don't. I would try to do a search for you last night as soon as you mentioned that, and it said this user doesn't.
My wife, she's no longer married to me. Facebook just says she's married, doesn't say to who. So
well, that could actually happen to me, which is a whole other story.
Now, my question now is: can other people post to your site, or you just don't exist at all? It's like there's no.
My Facebook profile is gone completely.
Yeah, his profile's gone. If you go look for his profile, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. What about a full face on? I mean, I understand the profile, but what about full face? Or
there's no full face. There's no side profile. There's no upper body. There's no full body
shot. My top face on.
Oh my god! No, Matt. Don't you know that that's not the way? If you send a picture that way, it looks the smallest. You got to. It's angles, man.
I know.
Yeah. So sad days, but guys, thank you to everyone who's donated so far. Though we're almost $600 already. And
but let's come back to this. You're asking for $100,000. Did you price this van out and it came to $100,000?
$100,000 might be a touch short, honestly.
Short?
I thought you said 110.
Joe Urell can't use his arms or legs and got his for $40,000, and it's a complete.
So So there's two ways it can go. Okay, if I can find a used one that's already modified, it's going to be less than 100,000 for sure, 100%. But in the event that I have to get something from scratch, there's rules and regulations. For example, they will not modify a vehicle that's older than 3 years old. So right off the bat, I have to buy a vehicle that's minimum of 3 years or maximum of 3 years old. So it has to be a van. So that's going to be a minimum of 40 to 50K right there. And then for them to put a lift in, they have to cut the frame. They have to modify body. They have to make the seats rotatable, put in hand controls. That alone is 30 to 50 grand by itself.
Now,
so
how much is it going to cost you for how much is it going to cost you for the fake panels that you can transport drugs across state lines?
No. We put those in the I just keep those in the wheelchair seat. But
okay.
But yeah, no, 100 grand. If I have to go completely from scratch, 100 grand might not cover 100% of it, but it would cover most of it. Yeah. It's ridiculously expensive. Anything medical related, like my wheelchairs cost $30,000.
Why did Joe Urel again? Joe Urel can't even move he has no use of his hands. He just has mouth control stuff, and his van only costs $40,000. It'll GoFundMe for his van.
Well, it also depends too, because for example, if he can't drive, they probably just had to put a lift in, and that was it. Because I drive, it would be a lift, it'd be a rotating driver's seat, full hand controls.
I'm looking up Joe's stuff. It was only a couple of years ago that he did this. 2 years.
But yeah,
ago,
no,
right?
like I said, if I can get a van that's already modified, it doesn't have to be as new as long as
it sounds to me like you're running some kind of like pyramid scam here or something. Like it's a Ponzi scam. It's a
dude. Hey, listen. If I had a name brand disease, I would be able to get the van at no cost, but I don't have that. So
name brand disease.
Okay, would it be cheaper to just name your disease? Let's just give it a name, and that way.
Well, I've tried, but like for example, like all like the organizations that help people with cerebral palsy, or people that help people with spina bifida, or people that help people with any of those. I don't have those. My back was just broken at birth, so there's not.
Right. We need to if we can come up with a catchy name. You come up with a catchy name and then get you a good PR firm, and then other children who've had their backs broken, they can be put under the same umbrella. And then eventually it's like starting a religion from scratch. Okay. We got to find you a deity or a good name, and then bring in find all the other people who want to worship the broken back God of broken backs. And then that's what we do. And then we'll get you proper that's what we'll do. We're going to workshop names for your condition. We're going to workshop names tonight and tomorrow, and then we'll come up with a good name for it, and then we'll put it out there so that other people can join with the same condition. And then I think we could probably do that, and it might be quicker. Well, actually, see, it's a shotgun thing. We could do it both ways. We could try the GoFundMe, and while that's working, we can develop get you a good name brand disease, and we'll work both angles.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no,
we'll workshop. All right, guys,
to
tonight
answer,
we're having a meeting. We're going to have a meeting after the show to workshop disease names for Stevie. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. We got that.
No, but to answer Matt's question,
hot sucker.
But if I find one that's like pre-modified, they range anywhere from like $29,500 to $45,000, give or take. Which I would be 1,000% okay with. Like that would be. But yeah, I priced it out. So like if I bought a 2021 like a Toyota Sienna base model, that's $45,000, and then through superior mobility and modifications, for a side loading ramp, rotating seat, hand controls, and then maintaining the far back seats so my kids can ride in the car still. It comes out to like $96,000 and some change plus tax.
Okay, how about
your kids? No, we don't give a fuck about your kids. It's supposed to get you to gigs, not to be like a picnic van or let's go on vacation. Go to Wally World. You're not going to Wally World in this damn van.
No, the wife already knows. Listen, if it's just like a Ford Sprinter van with a lift, that works. That's cool. Like I said, I'm not picky. I just want to be able to go around on my own. At the end of the day,
go ahead.
At the end of the day, though, it's not about getting a hot ride. It's not about getting something that looks good. I just want my independence back and be able to.
I think you want some fucking cocaine money on top of it. This is where the $100,000 comes in. The band comes out to $44,000 complete, and the rest is for fucking cocaine. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not wrong. See, that laugh tells me I'm not wrong.
That's
He's
a lot of
laughing
that's too much,
you
man.
caught me. You got me.
If I spent that much on cocaine, that's more than possession, man. That's like intent to distribute, right? That's probably a long time in jail.
I don't know. In Indiana, they probably can't even spell distribute. So I think you're pretty safe there.
I put this in here. How about workshopping this one? We'll call it drop broken roll disorder. And then you can call it double D for short, because who doesn't love a good set of double Ds? So, and you can get a good logo with the double D thing there.
Broken roll, yeah.
It's drop broken roll because you were dropped at birth. They broke your back, and now you have to roll. See,
actually, I was pulled out legs first as a C-section, and then they twisted it and broke it.
Now I gotta call it twist broken roll. That doesn't.
Ooh, what about
twist and shout?
For some reason, Joe Urel's Twitter feed stops in March of 2023, and that was after he got the van. For some reason, I don't know. I've never seen that before, where somebody's Twitter feed just ends. Weird. So I couldn't find that information.
But yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, it just, as long as it drives,
here's my problem. Here's my problem.
Broken baby syndrome. That's it. It doesn't matter if you were dropped or pulled or twisted or contorted. If the baby is broken, we just call it broken baby syndrome.
Now let's ask about that. Why didn't you get a settlement at birth and sue the doctors? Because we were talking about.
So this is the. So the doctors didn't admit it till I was. Well, it wasn't even discovered till I was a year old, and by the time it was discovered, and my parents were only 16 and 17 at the time, or 16 and 18 at the time. So the doctors were like, "Listen, we'll take care of everything. You don't got to pay for anything." And then that's where they brokered the deal of, for everything we fix, we also want to explore. So they were just dumb. Yeah.
I'm not buying. You can still sue. Go back. I think you're better off suing the doctor now if he's still alive. Then, because here's the thing with the GoFundMe, and this is kind of serious. If you set your goal too high and you don't reach your goal, you don't get any of it. It's like you can't just take.
No, that's not true at all.
$99,000. You can not get.
No, not with GoFundMe. No, I could cash out the $570 right now and close it down if I wanted to.
You could.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. They also no longer take a chunk of it off the top anymore. They ask for tips instead. Yeah. I read through all that before I started it because there was a few different sites I was going to choose from, but yeah.
All right.
Yep. No, I made sure of that. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So what do y'all think of broken baby syndrome? BBS.
I have very low expectations of actually hitting that number. But like I said, anything will help. So I mean, even
I think we're going with compulsive lying disorder.
Yeah. I'm many things, but I don't lie. No, come on now. But I'm not a diddler either.
You do compulse, so
I do.
I'm not playing any of this. All right, go to the GoFundMe and give them $10 today. Everybody give them $10, and then it will be up to $600 or something, $650, whatever.
Something like that.
Which is almost $100,000 if you think
close.
about it in terms
if each
of
one of our listeners, if each of our listeners across all of the platforms each give $10, we can probably get up to $10 by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well,
yep.
You can go to Tim Pool and get a free skateboard because he's closing down the skateboard park.
What really kills me though, and this is what really kills me, is my grandmother, when I was 15 or 16, bought me a handicap van, but my dad sold it.
Was he on drugs or just broke?
I would not say. I would. Let's edit that part out. Let's edit that part out in case anybody is. No, don't be saying that. It's like,
I listen. I had shit parents growing up. My bad. Sorry.
All right. Yeah. Well, so we wish you luck with this thing, but I'm still a little bit. I don't see how $100,000. It takes $100,000 to get that van. I wish I could find the Joe Urel thing because his van his van is like state of the art shit. Again, he's driving it with mouth controls, like brake, and he doesn't even say brake that clearly.
Well, if he can't use it, if he can't use anything but his face, I doubt he's driving.
No, he is. I know he's driving. I've interviewed him, and that was the surprising thing to me. I was like, "Wait a minute, you're driving this thing yourself? You can't use your hands or your legs."
But like I said, though, a pre-modified vehicle, isn't anywhere near that cost. It's if you have to go 100% brand new with everything. where it gets up there.
What happens if he sneezes while he's driving?
That's why his Twitter account has stopped all of a sudden. He died. And that's it. That's why
those springtime flowers fucked him.
He's probably posting on Twitter while he was driving. You know, people do that, and he's going like, "Okay, I'm going to end it here," and he's trying to end his post, but instead the truck says, "Okay," and end it here.
You know, somebody. I wish I didn't have Alzheimer's so I could remember what the hell this was. Somebody sent me an email about sending a self-driving car to come pick me up. I was like, no, I'm not getting any fucking self-driving car. I'm just not doing it. I don't trust.
Are you sure that the chauffeur's name wasn't Self?
I'm looking through the emails now.
Peter Self or Charlie Self or something like that. That was his last name.
No.
Okay, I'm just checking. Look.
I don't know. I'm not sure is what I'm saying. I don't remember. This isn't it. It was like some kind of business proposal thing. We'd like to send a self-driving car to come and pick you up. I wish I could find this email. Maybe later. If I find it today, I'll read it tomorrow. But we can move on, I guess, to other things. Now, yesterday, this Kirk Beck guy, I did not. We were assuming he was a conservative. I think we all got that vibe from him. He sent me 3 emails yesterday. It was fun. Thank you for having me on the show. I'd like to send you a copy of my book. I think your problem, meaning me, I think your problem is you're misinformed, underinformed, undereducated. And I would like to, I don't generally preach, but I would like to suggest you start with the King James Bible. And all of a sudden, he's telling me, first of all, I'm stupid. And then my stupidity will be cured if you just pray for me, I guess. Or no, I need to read the Word of God, which is, I didn't get that vibe from him at all when he was on, to expect that.
That makes sense. It makes sense, though.
It does?
And, yeah.
King James is
Hey, coffee with the dog. Suck my dick.
Was that in King James?
Yeah, that's not the King. King James was superstitious. That's the problem with the King James Bible. He was superstitious, and he has a lot of misinformation.
Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. It's in the King Jimmy Bible. The King Jimmy Bible.
Okay.
Was that from Second Opinions?
Second Opinions.
Yeah, that's my favorite. My 2 favorite books in the Bible are First and Second Opinions. Yeah.
I like First Impressions. I like First and Second Impressions. But
I don't think. Listen, we know I'm not like the greatest person to give advice on how to make friends and influence people. But I don't think he's starting off by calling somebody undereducated and misinformed and pretty stupid as the way to kind of make friends with people. I just don't think that as a first.
At least he didn't call you Muslim. Okay, at least he didn't call you Muslim. All right.
I'm too stupid to know. Maybe he did. Maybe
this was the second guy, right? Or the first guy?
The guy with the Yankee hat, the old man.
Okay, yeah.
Old man Yankee hat from South Dakota.
Yeah.
Moved to California. King Tut. Doo-doo.
Very weird. So anyway, so he thinks I'm reading the Bible now. Yesterday, as a coincidentally, Art. My friend Art. Now, Art and I, back when Barack Obama was president, we were enemies on Facebook because I dared to criticize Obama's use of the IRS to target conservatives and all that kind of stuff. And so he used to call me a Dick. He used to say, "You have a poster of Dick Cheney on your wall you jerk off to," and all this kind of stuff. He thought I was like a rabid conservative.
Barack Obama did that?
No, Art Gustia.
Oh, I thought Barack Obama was saying that to you. No. It's like, whoa, that's pretty.
That would be cool. No, I would ask him to autograph it.
Yeah, I mean the only thing he says to
Hey, coffee with the dog. Suck my dick.
But so Art was, and I think he might still be, but I'm not sure, very far left. But yesterday on Facebook, he had Israel. He posted a thing. Israel is not occupying. Israel's not being occupied. They own the land. And he put Genesis, whatever the numbers are, the 15, 3, 27, whatever the fucking numbers are. But I'm like, you're going to give me the word of a book that says the earth was created in 6 days by a visible guy. And then he took a rib and made woman and all this stuff that this book says. And you're going to use that as the basis of fact in your argument that Israel owns the land. It doesn't make any sense to me. And it seems like this guy, I don't know. I always thought he was far left. I would not. I would expect that from a far right guy, not from a far, like quoting the Bible as where we should base our current
land deeds.
Yeah,
the land deed. Well, it says right here in the Bible that the descendants of Shem and Mo and Curly.
Well, that guy yesterday didn't like that. I called the Bible a piece of trash, basically.
Well, yeah, I guess he was keeping that to himself because afterwards, that's when he's writing me emails saying I need to read the Bible. I don't.
Well, his whole thing is based on paper, so he couldn't just say it. He had to put it on paper. You're gonna be getting an affidavit in the mail any day now.
Right. But okay, so now if we're going to base law on the Bible,
Stephen, you muted.
Here come the affidavits. Here they come, one at a time in the mail.
It's basically affidavits, and Mind Dog, his affidavits, whatever it is / Mind Dog.
When anyone in their town sees that guy, they're like, "God damn it, fuck this guy."
Oh, great. He's coming in for dinner, guys. Fucking don't look at him. Make sure it's cooked right.
I don't want to make a practice of talking bad about guests after they've been on the program. But if they send me emails about this kind of stuff, I have to respond to it in some way.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, I don't like talking shit about people in general, but
I do.
If you're going to come on here and then afterwards decide to start judging and emailing and being like, y'all need Jesus, y'all need to correct yourselves, blah, blah, blah. No.
Whoa. He didn't say y'all. He said Matt, okay? He said Matt was undereducated. Matt
but you know
Jesus.
what? We're partners in this.
Let me look. Okay. I don't think he just singled me out, but let me look and make sure.
But you know what? We're partners in this, and if you come at one of us, you come at all of us, okay?
I don't know. I don't agree. If we come at you, I'm not backing you up.
I'm just saying. Wow. I've seen the movies. I'm going to be the first one to get killed. Okay, so I'm going to.
Yeah, but I can't run, so
I'm not going to back. I'm not going to back anybody till someone else dies. That way, I know I'm not the first to die, and then I'll come out.
All right, I stand corrected. He was kind of singling me out here. Here's what he said. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. I believe that much of your pessimism, which means he's definitely pointing it at me. I believe much of your pessimism comes from a lack of good information and perhaps your resistance to the truth contained in the Bible. I do not preach much about God, but simply seek to find common ground with as many people as possible. Well, that's not the way to do it.
That's why he singled out the Muslim.
Yeah. And then he goes on and on talking about the Federalist Papers here and how I really need to read them. But he says that he doesn't like Kamala or Trump, and they don't belong. Neither one of them belong in our politics right now. Is what he ends this thing with. But then he ended with best wishes to you and your fellow hosts. It was fun. I don't know what to make of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, he was singling out Matt. So I'm not in this fight. Matt's a grown man. If he wants to defend himself,
y'all don't have to have my back. But the way I was raised is you come at my homies, you come at my people. You're coming at me too. So,
hey, look, I'm with you guys on the show, but as soon as this Foursquare is gone, fuck y'all. I don't know who you are. As soon as these Foursquares are gone,
I take a bullet for you,
Matt. Who? My phone rings and it's Ron. I'll go like, I think I said, you order flowers, Mr. Kane. You order flowers.
Hey, I'm trying to show Ian saying that Bible also says slavery is okay. It also says that a 13-year-old virgin got pregnant by
Guy Daddy.
Magic.
I have a joke about that, and it usually divides the audience.
Into people who like virgins and people who don't. No,
I had a joke about this kid who came out of school in high school, and he it was downpouring, and he comes outside and he goes, "Give me your coming, Sky Daddy," and I was just like, "Oh my god, what was wrong with this guy?" And that joke usually would 50-50 shot the room, but
I'm just gonna have
funny.
you saying "Come inside, Daddy" over and over. I'm just gonna put that on a loop.
Give me your coming, Sky Daddy.
And then I'm gonna masturbate to it.
Yes.
Thank you.
If that's your masturbation face, please don't show it again.
It's because I remind him of a younger. It's because I remind him of a.
You're lucky you're on the radio. See that? You're lucky you don't have a visual. I'm just saying. I'm gonna play news. I know I'm gonna end up bombing it, but I don't know why. I got this like news fetish. Yeah, have you noticed? I got like a news fetish.
With all your other fetishes, we didn't even notice the news.
Couldn't hear you. News was playing.
Federal prosecutors revealed Tuesday criminal charges against a general in Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps for an alleged failed attempt to assassinate a New York-based Iranian journalist.
Ruhollah Bazghandi, who is located in Iran and remains out of the reach of law enforcement, is accused of orchestrating the 2022 plot to kill the journalist. Implicate Bazghandi and 6 other Iranian operatives, who prosecutors say conspired to murder Masih Alinejad, a well-known journalist and human rights advocate who has criticized the Iranian regime. Kevin Sanders reporting.
An Israeli airstrike near a hospital in southern Beirut resulted in the deaths of at least 13 people and left 57 others injured.
The incident occurred just hours before U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken arrived in Tel Aviv for his 11th visit in the year since Israel was attacked, as part of efforts to facilitate peace talks in the conflict-stricken region. The strike targeted the Al-Jana district, where the main government-run Rafik Hariri University Hospital is located, Lebanon's Ministry of Public Health confirmed. Benjamin Wright reporting.
President Joe Biden stated on Tuesday that he had instructed the U.S. military to assist Israel in intercepting Iranian missiles. According to Biden, the attack seemed to have been defeated and ineffective.
This is a testament to both the Israeli and U.S. military capabilities, Biden remarked in his first televised comments on the issue. It's also a result of extensive planning between the U.S. and Israel to anticipate and defend against the expected brazen attack. He added, "Make no mistake, the United States is fully supportive of Israel." Liam White reporting.
Fully,
This is the latest news headlines.
Surgery schedules across the U.S. could face weeks of delays as a key Y-free and sterile fluid manufacturing facility remains closed due to damage from a hurricane.
Many non-emergency surgeries are typically planned in the fall and early winter when insurance coverage helps offset costs, but patients may...
I'm done with that. We are fully behind Israel. I'm not sure that's what he wants to be saying like 2 weeks before.
I can see him saying we're fully behind the right for Israel to the Israeli people, but not, he needs to.
We are fully behind trying to negotiate a peaceful settlement to this conflict, whatever. You don't want to be taking sides like that right before an election.
And as long as we keep helping Israel with the Iron Dome, they're just going to keep attacking people because they know we're going to protect them against retaliation. I say we back off and say, look, if you start a fight, you fucking finish the fight. Okay, I'm not going to help you out.
Vote for GD on November 5th. Write his name in.
Yeah, I just think at this point, why even bother? At this point, it's like we're old white devil is not going to be able to solve this problem. So whiteys, you got to let that go. This has been a problem that's been going on for thousands of years between races.
Why do you hate white people so much?
Well, I'm just
They embarrass him. They embarrass him.
I mean, both sides have fucked up, and no one wants to be the adult. So, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
No, that's not what I asked. I said, why do you hate white people? Why do you hate white people? You hate white people.
I mean, look at us.
I got nothing against Blanco Diablo.
You looked right at Steven when I said that. You're like,
yeah, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Matt's whiter than I am. Look at him.
I'm not white.
No. I don't think anybody's whiter than you, Steven. I'm sorry. It could be the lighting.
Are you familiar with Mr. Freeze?
Yeah.
It's just my lighting. Jeez. It's just my lighting. I'm sorry.
You called yourself translucent, okay?
Yeah.
I am translucent, but still.
Jennifer Ann Gordon, who is a friend and an author who's been on the program a couple of times, she might be the whitest person I know. She is like Edgar Winter white, but Other than that, I would put Steven in second place there.
Now, I did know some albinos, and they had Steven beat because they not only were their skin really, really pale and pasty, but they also had pink eyes, and white teeth. They were like blonde hair.
Whoa, I got white teeth and blonde hair.
You don't have the pink eyes.
No, I have blue eyes.
I'm talking about true albinos with like all recessive genes.
It's okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I've known a few of them. Some of them were black people, and the only reason why you knew they're black is because the nose and the hair.
I have a question.
The hair was white. Yeah.
Can albino black people still use the N-word?
Sure. Yeah, they still get this. They get picked on by.
You can't use the A word.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they're called albinigs. That's what they're called.
They're just called binos. Albinos.
See, I can't pitch in. I'm not going to pitch in any jokes to this because it's going to sound racist. So
go ahead. Sound racist. This is the place to look. Our biggest fan base is on Rumble. Sound racist. They love it.
I know.
We'll pick up like 5% of an audience on Rumble. Go ahead. Say something racist.
Let me just see how many people are hating us on Instagram.
Albiners?
Or albinos?
We are getting a hater. Listen, you people on Instagram, come over to where you can get in the chat room and get Ron Kane to respond to your Republican conservative, because Ron Kane will fucking take you to Texas and make you.
Okay, where are we on Instagram? Because I can put my phone on Instagram and I can monitor the stuff there.
Where are we? I don't know. I don't know how to find the live feed. Actually, I know how to feed there. It's on my Instagram, I think, but I'm not sure.
Notification that he's live.
Yeah, but I didn't get that.
I don't know. I've never been able to find it. I don't know where it goes. I know they asked me to discard it at the end of every live stream when it ends. You want to keep this or discard it? And I ain't discard it. I'm not gonna.
Is it the dog or is it coffee with the dog?
It's I think it's
under Matt Napo.
Yeah, who knows? But anyway, so yeah, come over here and start a fight with Ron Kane on
my dog won.
You know what? Because after yesterday, I thought, especially after I got his email, I was like, I got to stop being nice and respectful to these people. And I know the guy who's going to come on now is going to tell me I need to be more nice and respectful to these people. But I'm thinking, outrage is what sells now. If we really want to make this a business where we can actually pay people to do this, we need to start more fights. We need to get, people need to want to be outraged. Outrage is what sells. So fighting people and saying outrageous things and calling the guy mother a skank.
Yeah, and more full frontal male nudity.
No, I just
okay. I can see. Okay, so I'm looking for comments now.
I don't see any comments on the video.
I see about 18, 19 of them. You're not seeing the comment. Maybe when after you get in there late.
Maybe it's because it's live. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be able to get in there and just be able to pick it up.
Well,
okay.
Doesn't really matter.
I like that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Just get in there and pick it up.
Man, that lady makes my heart. That lady makes my chest thump a little bit. Man, she's hot.
Do these videos ever expire, or like 7 years from now?
That's from Ron. Look, once Ron sees it, he puts it in his personal stash. That's why it's so.
That one's from his bank.
You should see what's saved in my phone. It is a carnival of
Ron,
cards.
How often
you say
does your wife
I
get
should see, or we should see? I'm not sure how that translates to the language that I speak, but it sounds like you should kill yourself before seeing.
Probably. Ron, how often does your wife get in your phone, and how often does she get concerned for you?
I know. I show this shit to my wife. She's witness to some of this.
I love that it sounds like your wife's a lot like mine, because I show her a lot of the stupid shit that we send each other and that like I send out, And same thing. She's like, fuck it. She's like, oh my God, that's hilarious. That's so fucking dumb.
I can't show my wife anything because she still gets upset over things I did when I was 6 years old. She's like, how could you? I was like, I was 6. You know, yeah.
Yeah, no, my wife has been great from the start of this. Like she's told me like in the beginning how bad I was and and things like that. So, I love her for that, to be able to tell me like, "Oh yeah, you were great from the start." No, she was real with me. It's like, "Yeah, it was pretty rough in the beginning." And
But
but
she stayed with you because you could lay down the pipe. I understand. You just add the next pipe. Might as well just add the rest of it. It was rough in the beginning, but you laid down the pipe and she came around.
It's kind of the same thing here.
Again and again and again.
Yeah, because honestly, I feel like my opinion of our comedy scene up here right now is that it's not great. It's very boring. It's a lot of the comics are the same. I'm not really seeing anything exciting from them. We got like maybe 1 or 2 that are doing some stuff writing wise, but other than that, there's a lot of it's just like, what are we doing here, fellas?
So, Ron, how quick did you invite your wife to see you do comedy, or did you start after you met her?
No, she came with me from the start.
He's been with his wife since junior high school.
Oh,
Have you not been paying attention?
That's right. I forgot. Yeah. Well, I was curious because you hear about people taking, you see people at shows all the time on dates, and sometimes at open mics you'll see people bring a chick on a date to an open mic, and like in my head I'm like, that's ballsy, man, because like my wife, I was like 4 years in when I met, or 3 years in when I met her, and I was hosting a show in LaGrange. They'd never had a comedy show before, and I was like, oh my God, there's so much writing on this show, because it's the first time she ever saw me perform, and that was fucking nerve-wracking. So I was just curious if that affected you at all, because that scared the shit out of me. And I was like, never again.
Yeah, I never got nervous because she was there. But like in the beginning, she would, occasionally come with me. And I even told her in the beginning, like, you don't want any part of this over and over every week. And, she was, quick to pick up on that. Then the pandemic happened. So then I was like running underground shows at one point, and underground mics. And
Fight Club.
Joke
Club. First rule of Joke Club is we don't talk about Joke Club.
Just because she couldn't go out and play pool at that time, she was kind of like stuck.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, my wife, she couldn't go. After probably like a month of going, I was like, babe, I appreciate you going. I know you're not enjoying this anymore. You're hearing me hash out the same jokes. You're hearing these guys do the same jokes. I get it. I'm totally fine.
Yeah, and
I totally get it. Yeah.
Like Laura is wickedly funny, and like she can be wickedly funny, mean, and so she's good. Like giving me some tag from time to time. Like maybe you should try this. But
that's how Jess is. She's very cutthroat. She goes right for the kill when she's being funny and mean. She'll so fucking go right for it, dude. It's so funny.
Yeah. So Laura got up on stage like twice so far, and she's just she's like all nervous.
Jess to do it.
Yeah, Jess, because she's nervous. Like, she's nervous even working in the background. She was like working stuff for you like in the background, and she was nervous.
Yeah, she's gotten a lot better at it, but she hasn't been up on stage.
I've been trying to get my wife to get on stage, but she.
All right, shut the fuck up. Oh, sorry. I don't know. It's the coffee. I'm a little hyper.
Sorry, Matt. I know your wife's over there hanging out with nature.
Hey, coffee with the dog. Suck my dick.
All right.
Thanks, Barack.
We're being a little too nasty here because I'm filled with outrage, and it's time to get unloaded of my overload of outrage.
Yeah, get your load off.
Yeah. David Beckermeyer. I hope that.
Come, King.
Is the host of Outrage Overload podcast. He brings a unique and crucial perspective to this critical moment. I think he's going to try and tell me to be nice to people, and I want to go the other way. I want to be less nice to people. I want to get more fights started so we get more eyes and ears, because outrage sells and being negative sells.
I want to strangle somebody so I can see the life leave their body.
All right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So David Beckemeyer. I hope that's correctly the way you
Beckmeyer.
pronounce your last name. Beckmeyer or Beckemeyer. Good morning, and thank you for being here. Is it Beckemeyer?
Yeah, for some reason we don't pronounce the middle E. Probably you're probably
Beckmeyer.
pronouncing it the right way in German, but we just say Beckmeyer.
All right. Well, thanks for being here. Are you going to tell me to be nice? Because I can't. I don't know. Being nice is a major adjustment for me.
I mean, yeah, it's a little bit less. It's a little bit not exactly being nice per se, but yeah, I mean, I guess we are talking about sort of affording dignity and things like that. But you're right that outrage sells. I mean, that's why it's so commonly used, right?
No doubt about it. The most successful people in digital broadcasting, the new media services, that streaming stuff, the most successful people, I don't even think they believe half the stuff they say. They're just saying stuff to be outrageous, to get people pissed off. And as a culture, I think we want that. We wake up in the morning and say, I'm not really pissed today. Let's turn on social media and find out what I could be pissed about today. I think that's where we've come to. It feeds two needs. It feeds the people who are putting out outrage media, their need to get more dollars, more views, and all that kind of stuff. And then the consumers, it's like cocaine. I need my daily dose of outrage here. I don't know. So you have some ways or ideas on how to get out of this vicious cycle of just being totally always looking for something to be angry about. I'd love to hear them.
Well, and that's why I use this term that I didn't really invent it, but I've kind of broadened the meaning of it, of this idea of outrage porn, where there's the outrage side, which is kind of this collection of emotions, anger and resentment and outrage ultimately. And then there's the porn part, because like you say, we're kind of addicted to it. Right. And one of the things that, if you're in the political realm, but it applies to other things as well, that you kind of have this, it's associated with your identity. So the porn part of it is, I want it because it affirms that I made the right choice. You keep telling me how terrible the other side is. I like that. I want to hear more of that. So I want to be outraged at the other side, because that helps me feel better about my side. Like I'm the good guys, they're the bad guys. So I want that I want to be fed that stuff. And so I seek it out, even though the long-term effect of it is not good, even though in the short term I get that little boost of some kind of neurotransmitter, and it makes me feel good for a little while. But in the long term, this stress and being mad all the time, we know there's all kind of things about our health. I mean, the best way to start getting a little bit more, maybe build up some immunity for it, is just sort of being aware of it, like you're saying. Like, I mean, kind of just when you're going to go, if you're going to feel like you're going to go watch some news or you're going to go read something, just going to be aware that they're going to try to get you amped up, right? That's their thing. And I think if you go in with that mentality, with that lens, you might be a little bit less susceptible to falling into it. It's still natural. We do it all the time. Like, we get caught up in it. It's hard not to. And I'm
very glad you mentioned the porn stuff, because I have an AI tool on YouTube that suggests keywords. And when I was putting this stuff in there with your name, it kept coming up porn addiction. I was like, what this is not about porn addiction. I had porn addiction guys on the program. I had a porn addiction guy the day after I had a porn star, and I wish I could get them both talk about outrage. I mean, that would be a good conversation to stir up some outrage. But I was wondering why they were associating your name with porn addiction. Right. I could see their names being associated, especially Ron and Steven.
A lot of people think I'm talking about that kind of porn, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about this idea that we get addicted to this outrage media, right? We want that stuff, like you're saying.
Yeah, but also.
Okay, I was gonna say, in order for us to have, in order for combating sides or opposing sides to have a civil discourse, they have to accept and agree upon certain truths, facts, and norms. And until they can do that, they're just going to be yelling at each other, because they're going to have their own facts, their own truths, and screw the norms.
Let me just ask you about that, because he brought up a civil discourse. I don't think outrage or need to be outraged about something is necessarily tied to having a civil discourse. I think it's more just being
outraged about anything and everything. It doesn't necessarily have to be about just one, taking sides. Sometimes it's just every government in general is outrageous. Corporations' behavior in general is outrageous. We just want to be. I'm not sure if it's always about discourse. Is it always about the way we talk about politics?
Well, it's not always about that. I mean, that's obviously salient in our lives, right? Especially with an election, kind of boiling up. So it's one of the big areas where it's important in our lives, and it's also kind of it's kind of potentially important to society, right? It's one of the places where this toxic polarization is a bad spiral and a bad that doesn't have a good outcome if we can't find a way out of this toxic polarization that we're in. So that civil discourse or that kind of having better. I go beyond sort of the civil discourse. I do talk to practitioners, kind of working in that space, but I go beyond that. Like a lot of it is just about better disagreement, right? Like finding better ways to disagree, and being able to handle that conflict and work through it. This is a place where we're really weak. We've been in our bubbles, for a long time, and we get in our bubbles and everybody's cheerleading each other on about the other side is this and that and that. And then one person says something that kind of doesn't match, your peer group's idea of how things should be. And that person, all of a sudden, everyone looks at them like, what? How could you think that? And we don't know how to go from there. Like, we don't know how to, just take that discomfort and keep, pushing through. And so we usually run away or we just start screaming at each other. And it's
right. But part of the reverse side of this is the inability to feel outraged about things that in the old days. Because yesterday they were talking about the October surprise and some supposedly video that shows Trump groping an underage girl or something, and we don't know that that's really the case. This is just conjecture about what people are saying about it. But I was like, you think he's not going to lose one voter because of that? He's got, I don't know, multiple rape allegations going back forever. I mean, and stuff about his own daughter. He's been sexually adjudicated as a sexual assaulter. Do you think groping one more woman is going to make you outraged? So depending on what side you're on, you're not going to feel outraged about anything that they want you to make. So we are both at the same time have outrage overload, wanting to be outraged against the other side. But if anything happens on our side, well, I can't get outraged.
Well, I think Democrats are a little bit different than that in that regard, because, like, for example, Bob Menendez, when he was still being investigated, and Democrats, half of them were saying, okay, let's not have this distraction. Be gone. Al Franken, my God, it was like before the rumor hit the fan totally. It was like before the crap was dry, he was gone.
Yeah, let me just agree with you and disagree with you. I think they are quick, like with Al Franken and Menendez. They're quick to say, okay, he's got to go, but they don't get outraged about it. It's not like we need to get on, we need to scream about this from the top of the mountain type of thing.
Well, not as a party.
We agree he's bad.
Yeah, not as a party, but like Gillibrand, the senator from New York, she was screaming from the rooftops. At least with Al Franken, not so much with Menendez. But with Franken, she was screaming. She was like one of her, and I think maybe even.
I'll take your word for it. I don't remember anybody actually being like.
Oh yeah, there are quite a few of the women senators, all three of them.
So what about this idea? And do you think? Do you agree with GD first of all that Democrats are not as quick to defend what they should be outraged about?
Maybe it goes in cycles, and that might be the cycle we're in right now. Yeah, maybe. I think, but also you have like unique characters that seem to really become sort of like you were talking about. There's probably nothing that could be said that would change at least a good percentage of people that are Trump supporters. At this point, like there's probably not much. I can't imagine what it would be at this point.
I got it. I mentioned it this morning. I think if there was videotape of him dressed in a Hitler outfit with a foxtail up his ass, also at the same time raping 3 or 4 women and blowing a guy, I think
it would probably be.
one vote.
It would be probably. maybe one vote. I think the other direction might be if suddenly, behind closed doors, or really, if you started to go out there and saying science is good, Democrats are good, I like VP Harris, he might lose supporters over that.
But at one point, he did say all those things because he donated to Kamala Harris's campaign. Now, the thing is, after January 6th, there were a huge number of Republicans who had turned against Trump, but one by one, he threatened them over. Won them over. One by one. Actually, I think it started with who was the leader at the time? Can't remember his name now. McCarthy. McCarthy. When he and the other leader, Mitch McConnell, once they said it's okay, then everybody else came back. But for a while, even his boyfriend Lindsey Graham was like, "I can't take this anymore. I got the vapors." And
no, we don't want to offend the closeted gay people, so don't do that impersonation of gay Lindsey Graham. Lady G.
That's not an impersonation of gay Lindsey Graham. That's an impersonation of Lindsey Graham.
Oh, okay.
He just happens to be gay.
I'm
sorry. Got it all wrong.
I know. I was just trying to outrage the gay people against me or you or anybody.
Against you, gay people love me because they know I party with them.
That way. Okay.
I party with them.
All right. I'm sorry. We've totally derailed this, and that's what my goal is now. Do you not care about numbers and clicks and views and or listens and all that stuff? Because to me, if you really did care about making money in podcasting, you would not be trying to mend fences in any way. You would be trying to build, make it worse.
Yeah, I have a couple, so I have this. It's not my primary thing. I care more about can I impact some listeners, and that kind of feedback is way more valuable to me than a download number or whatever. And I'm retired, so I'm in a situation where I can sort of do this. But I also do have this kind of crazy optimism thing that there is this kind of hidden tribe out there that actually does want this. Like you were saying earlier that the easy way to get started is you yell and scream a lot and you get people riled up. And it's almost like, okay, but that's what everybody's doing. That's the formula. So I feel like what I'm doing is the sort of anti-formula. And there is a hidden group out there somewhere, and I will find them. Good will win. So I do feel like that's the cool thing now. I'm doing the thing that everybody else isn't doing.
Well, no, I hear you. I'm running as an independent, by the way, and I'm probably only going to get 3 votes in the New York 3rd congressional district. But
I'd vote for you, but I would get arrested. I would vote for you, but I would get arrested.
You don't live in the district, so
that's why I'd get arrested.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant because you were black. Because most
no, because I'm black, they might not even let me in your district.
Exactly. That's outrageous. Did we say something?
Even though it's only 3/5 of a vote, I can't affect that much, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I have always said for as long as I can remember that the 2-party system needs to be expanded, and I didn't think the 2-party system was working for America, but I've come to realize that a 1-party system is far worse. And if you look at history, you look at when there's only one party in power, that's far worse. I think the Republican Party right now is kind of it's inviting such a fringe element of the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Lauren Boeberts, and I think it really needs, and I think this all stems from Trump. I think it needs to rebuild and cleanse itself of Trump. And I don't want to see, I know a lot of people who are against Trump, who want to see the Republican Party completely destroyed. I want to see it build back so that I think it's really important to have a balance of power between liberalism and conservatism. And I said this many times, even in business and anything, it takes a balance of left-right ideas, progressive ideas, conservative ideas to have any kind of stability. And that's what I long to get back to. So I think we're on the same page with that. That's what my whole campaign is based on, but I'm going to get 3 votes because my campaign is based on that. Yeah. It's a rating, a numbers game, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of people who want the anxiety and divisiveness to end. They want to win. I think we are conditioned
to want to win and beat the other team into submission and make them just die. And so we want a one-party system. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, there's been definitely, that's changed. Like it used to not be like this, 50 years ago. But there's been this steady progression towards that where we've tribed up more and more, and we do see it more like a sports battle where our team is good and their team is bad. And both sides now at this point have this sort of vision, this dream that their side can create a coalition that will dominate, for decades or whatever, right? And this dream seems ridiculous at this point. Like this has been 25 years. We've had these elections that are just knife's edge close, right? But both sides still hold on to this dream that they will be able to create this coalition and just dominate the other side for this, rather than work with them. And that, like, the reality is, no, you're gonna have to get in a room with people you don't like and hash things out, right? And this is what nobody wants to do. And neither side wants to do this, right? I mean, both sides think they can just dominate the other side and essentially make them disappear, like they shouldn't have a voice. And I totally
Couple
agree
of
with
things
you
here.
about
Because Harris did say she wanted to. Whoa, what happened? Oh, who'd we lose? We lost somebody. Let me go back to this layout for while we've lost somebody and do this and this. Harris did say she wanted to include some Republicans in her cabinet, and her own side was ready to just fucking kill her over that. Like, so. But the other thing I wanted to mention is people are using this fear. You talk about the idea that we might, whatever side wants to dominate for 50 years. They're using the fear that the other side, if we lose this election, the other side is going to dominate for the next 50 years. So it's both the fantasy that we might hold on to it for 50 years, but also I think the fear is the more compelling thing, that the other side will rule for the next century or whatever that stuff is. I don't see it. Do you, this optimism you have, do you really see that anything is going to improve on that front at all, where we can come back to people who can work across the aisle in politics?
Well, the experts sort of say that it probably has to get worse before it gets better, which I kind of worry about. How bad does it have to get? Like, what's that?
Right.
They say it's kind of like an addiction and we're going to have to hit rock bottom or something. I don't know what rock bottom looks like. So I'm a little worried about that.
Right.
But I am
new rock
encouraged.
bottom every day.
Yeah, I know. And but I am encouraged by there's clearly this, there is a movement, right? You're seeing this, people are kind of fed up. Now, how exactly that manifests, I mean, I think one indicator might be that, a majority of folks, and many, especially younger folks, are reluctant to identify as either Republican or Democrat. Now, they may tend to vote one way or the other, but they want to identify as independent. And I think that says something about the two parties, right? Like, I'll kind of vote for them, but I don't really want to be part of that club, right? I want a different name. I think those kind of things are suggesting that there could be a spark that would ignite a movement that would kind of go, these things can change faster than you think once that spark hits the right way and it starts to move. So as desperate and as terrible as it looks, I am optimistic that is still a potential that could happen. But there are a lot of hills to climb. There's a lot of momentum. There's a lot of incentives. So there's a lot sort of pulling it the other direction. So that it's definitely a challenge.
Yeah, I think a lot of the times, like with me, nobody knows who I am. I haven't had, and because I would wanted to run a completely clean money campaign. Like, no, I'm not accepting donations. Everything is paid for by me. Unlike Donald Trump, who said that in 2016.
Yeah.
Literally, I did not form any kind of PAC or any kind of thing for donation. So nobody really knows about me. And I think that you could say that about almost every independent who's running, except maybe Jill Stein. And listen, what we know about her, nobody really finds her favorable. Very few people, I shouldn't say nobody. But so that's a big problem. As I have been a registered independent for as long as I can remember, I get into the booth and I look at who's running for national office. And if I see an independent, I might be, if I knew about them, but I don't know about them. This is the first time I'm hearing about them is in the booth. I'm not voting for somebody I don't even, it could be George Santos or something.
Right.
I think one of the things that would fix this, you're just talking about each party wants the other side, pretty much wants to dominate. And I'm against the two-party system. I'm against the any-party system. I don't want there to be any political parties if I had my way. But if we got rid of the Electoral College, and we got rid of gerrymandering, and we got rid of the black money, not money from black people, but the dark money. If we got rid of that, black people can still give money, just not everybody else. No, we got rid of the dark money.
All my black money was spent on Colt 45, by the way. I'm sorry.
And Hennessy.
That's outrageous, right?
Yeah. So
that's outrageous.
If those things happen, then whatever party you're in, you'd have to start talking to the people directly, because you wouldn't have a gerrymandered safe district. You'd have to earn votes. If you had to get rid of the Electoral College, you'd have to talk to every state and every person. So
if I can, you are supporting my idea of sending out this video where I'm telling all the constituents in my district that if I win, I will give them all my personal cell phone number and they can call me 24/7.
I'm not sure if you can do that. I think you have to have like one of those special BlackBerry phones for security reasons. So I think you have a different phone number. So it wouldn't be your personal phone; it'd be your congressional phone. But I'm for it. You just be busy as fuck unless I'm your aide and I'm the one that has to answer the phone calls. Then I'm not for it at all.
But whether the logistics of it can be worked out. But I think you think that's a winning message. You think people want representation that they can actually interface with one-on-one.
Sure. As a matter of fact, I'd go one step further. You will not meet with a company or something unless your normal constituents can be there to be represented. So, for example, if DuPont says, I'm going to try to get Matt's vote, or Matt's vote on this bill to make DuPont the official drug company of Canada or something, and they want your support, he said, okay, we'll talk about it, but I want some representatives from my constituency, maybe on Zoom call. They can all be part of the meeting, so they hear that you're being straight above board. So right. DuPont wants to say, like, look, we're only going to poison 20% of the people. The people hear it right off the bat.
All right, I gotta look. I'm just. Thanks for that input, but I'm just. I think you're way off with the DuPont thing. I don't think DuPont is a pharmaceutical. You said drugs and stuff.
No, I'm using them as an example, but they're into drugs. If DuPont is into drugs, and if they want to get into pharmaceuticals, they're only 1 or 2 votes away from doing it. We could be into the drug business under another name, under a subsidiary.
That's true. It could be. So now on the Outrage Overload podcast, are you having guests? And how often do you do episodes? Is it every week?
So I do what I call a regular episode every other week, and that's my numbered episodes. And I just did my 50th, so that's 100 weeks of the show. And then I do bonus episodes, on and off. I don't do them every other week, but some on the off weeks, sometimes I'll do a bonus episode. Yeah, and I interview folks in, experts sort of somehow adjacent to this whole space. So I'll be like scientists and looking at research work and psychology and social science and things like that. I'll talk to practitioners in this kind of, sometimes it's called bridge building, sometimes it's called depolarization, kind of folks that are actually running organizations and trying to do things like civil dialogue, but also other things, civics work and trying to bring communities together to work on real problems. And so I'll bring practitioners in that kind of space on. And then I also kind of bring in some of my tech background sometimes. So I'll talk sometimes about AI or how these philosophers and things like that and how some of that might play into all this. I did want to comment on the Electoral College and the gerrymandering thing, just to kind of talk about the practical aspects of that and why toxic polarization has to be fixed first. Because, to change the Electoral College, we need 2/3. That's like a big deal, right? You have to get 2/3 plus a bunch of states have to ratify it. Because it's
there's a backdoor procedure. There's a backdoor procedure, but it's a little cumbersome. But yeah, but you're right.
And so that's never going to happen with this 50% plus one world we live in, right? So we have to sort of solve this toxic polarization first, where you can get people to look beyond, because we will never impeach anyone again, and we will never make another constitutional amendment as long as we're in this toxic polarized world, because we just can't come together with that big of you just can't put together that kind of a majority anymore.
Wait a minute. Just to be clear, hold on. I want clarity here. When you say we'll never impeach anybody, you mean convict? Because I think
we'll convict, never convict.
Go ahead.
There'll never be a conviction for impeachment. I don't know what someone would have to do.
I think you can get the 2/3 an electoral college thing, but it's because people want to get rid of it for different reasons. So if you want to get rid of it because it's a remnant of slavery, you're on board. If you want to get rid of it because it's not truly representative of a democracy, then you're on board. So what you do is you hit them with like a full spectrum antibiotic. You show all the reasons that you get rid of the college, and maybe somebody will grab onto one of those reasons and say, you're right. That's good enough reason for me to vote to get rid of the electoral college. So you just don't say get rid of
them.
I'm just saying it's possible.
You're absolutely right that that's the way you have to do things in America, right? You have to kind of build these coalitions of a broad constituency like that. But I'm saying the world is not like that now, because somebody will decide that it's partisan, and then that tribe will say, nope, it's a partisan thing. I'm going to be against it no matter what, right? Even if it would be in their interest, right? So, I mean, I think that's the challenge. We have to get through that. That's why I'm focusing so much on this toxic polarization stuff, because it's sort of a prerequisite to get anything done, that we have to first get past this. And the gerrymandering thing has a different kind of problem, right? Because right now we're a federated system. So states make up their own laws about how, they run elections. So you'd have to have